Hello friends, welcome back to yet another YouTube video, and today the topic of discussion is on the Nifty IT Index. Now we all know that the Nifty IT Index has given fabulous returns in the last 6 months. We all know that how from the Feb March lows, many of these IT stocks have given you returns of 2x, the mid cap stocks have given you returns of 3x, 4x, etc. But then the key is that as an IT index investor, now what are the futures prospects for the IT stocks or the IT index overall, and how should be the strategy to invest? So I think that's the most important part. Now, as I said that many of these stocks have given you returns in a very short span of time of 2x, 3x plus, but then whether the same kind of returns would probably replicate in the long term, what is the view ahead which could be impacted on the Nifty IT index? So I'll try and discuss the major contours of the IT index. So the two time frames which I'm covering on the charts today, one is on the weekly time frame. Now let's look at this chart very, very cleanly. The upper grid, which you can see on the charts, which is this upper grid by the red line, this is the RSI. It's a relative strength index indicator. I think for all of you guys who follow technical analysis, they know the importance of the RSI on daily basis as well as on regular inspection of charts. And the lower grid is where you see the prices. Now these are the weekly charts for the Nifty IT index. Now I want you to concentrate on the 4 points which I have marked. Now, point number one. Now, this is the RSI trend line which I have joined. I've connected the tops, and this is the last 10 years of charts for the Nifty IT index. So this is not a short-term time frame. This is over the last 10 years of the observations on the Nifty IT index. Now, point number one is where the Nifty IT index or the RSI of this index had hit back about those 80, 85 kind of levels on the weekly time frame. Now, whenever it had done, as you can see on the prices on the lower grid over here, that the prices went through a multi-week consolidation, and then it managed to continue to rise up higher. Uh, Point number two is where it was in 2014, 2013 and 2014 start, where the RSI had hit back a similar kind of a overbought level. And then what happened to the prices? The prices went through a short-term correction or short-term consolidation. Come 2018 or the end of 2017, as you can see that the IT index yet again formed an overbought, RSI trigger over here. What happened to the prices? The prices went through a short-term consolidation or a short-term mean reversion. I think that's a better word. And then the prices managed to continue to rise higher. Now, this is where we are, the point number four, and this is why it becomes very, very crucial. So if you've seen the last three times in the last decade, the IT index behaving in almost a similar, a typical rhythmic fashion or a similar manner, where after hitting the upper end of this RSI, it tends to go into a multi-week consolidation or a mean reversion process, and then manages to gradually start and restart and kickstart its uptrend again. So if a similar kind of a trend happens, as you can see that the Nifty, the RSI is just about to hit that the resistance trend line. So maybe another few percentage points from current levels is where we would see more confirmation that the Nifty IT index or the RSI for the IT index has hit back towards the overbought nature, and that could probably be a more of an alarm bell towards the short-term investors. So this could probably be something which is very, very interesting. It could indicate that short term you might see the IT index taking a bit of a pause, and that's where I think a lot of opportunities could open up for anyone who's missed out on buying the IT stocks. Now let's look at the other prospect or the other time frame for the Nifty IT index, and that's on the monthly time frame. Now this gets extremely interesting when you spot the monthly charts. Now, as you can see, again, I have marked 4 points over here, and this time I have marked it A, B, C, D, so that there is no confusion as such. Now, point number A is where the monthly RSI hits back to an extremely overbought territory. Again, the charts span for the last decade or the last 10 years, and again there are four such data points. Now, point number A, where the RSI hit backs towards the extreme overbought nature, this lies around 75 or 77 levels on the standard RSI. What happens post that? The moment the monthly charts hit the overbought territory, post that you see a multi-year pause. Okay, this becomes very interesting. Post that it goes into a multi-year pause. So after the point, the RSI hits the point A, you see the behavior of the prices. As you can see, I've marked it in the shaded region. So in 2010 end, when the monthly RSI had hit the overbought nature, you've seen that the prices went into at least a 2 years of consolidation. So 2 years of sideways range, but then the uptrend continued post that. Now let's look at the point B and C. So again, when the RSI hit that point B, as you can see that there was this marginal retracement. It did not hit that black line or the resistance line, but it turned slight below before it, and which is why the consolidation or the correction which you've seen in the IT index was slightly to the lower degree. What happened post that? There was one more attempt towards the rally. So as you can see, this was a very short-term oriented correction, even though it was almost 10 to 15% in magnitude, but we'll still call it as a short-term correction because it doesn't change the larger scenario of the IT index going through an upward trend. Come point number C, as you can see over here, point number C is where the IT index forms yet another top. Now this is on the RSI indicator, and then look at what happens to the prices after hitting this. The RSI of after hitting this point, the prices go into at least a 3 years of consolidation. So a 2 years of consolidation over here, a 3 years of consolidation over here, where the IT index went through sideways price action ranges. Even though the range has been big and broad because you're talking of the monthly charts, of course, the ranges will be quite wide for the IT index. Let's see point number D. This was in 2018 end or 2018 mid, where the IT index topped out, or the resistance or the RSI topped out back again at the resistance point. And then look at the prices. The prices went into at least a 1.5 year to 2 year of consolidation before you had a sell-off. This was the COVID sell-off, which happened in the Feb and the March month of 2020. Okay, so this is what is interesting. Now, what's again very interesting is that the monthly RSI is at 72 or 72 and a half on the Nifty IT index. So maybe another 3 4 points on the monthly RSI for the Nifty IT index, and you could probably hit back towards this black trend line. Now, this black trend is a very important trend line. So a 3 4 point jump on the Nifty IT index or the RSI of the Nifty IT index could probably take the index maybe another 5% to 10% higher from current levels. So the expectation is that you have to start becoming cautious as and how the Nifty IT index hits this black trend line. This is a very important observation, guys. And I had pointed a similar observation on gold and silver start of August 2020, and look at what happened to both of these asset classes. So at the start of August 2020, everyone was gung ho about gold and silver. You can see the YouTube video as well on my YouTube page, and I had mentioned specifically that when it does it, gold and silver typically goes into at least a 6 month of sideways range before they start to move up higher. Now for the Nifty IT index, apparently it's not the historical chart suggests that it's not a 6 month of sideways range. It could be a multi-year sideways range which could happen for the Nifty IT index. So what does this brings us as a conclusion? It suggests that the a time correction now seems to be imminent on the IT index. So what you've seen, that those 2x 3x returns on the stocks which you've seen the last 6 months for the IT index, the same trend may not get replicated in the next 6 months. There could be a possibility that yes, another 10% upside could be probable for the Nifty IT index, as I suggested on the monthly time frame, that you have to watch out for the monthly RSI. The moment the monthly RSI comes to those levels or the zone of 75 plus is where you have to start becoming cautious. You have to restrict your time frame, or rather expand your time frame. You can't have the same short term time frame angle when you're looking to invest into the Nifty IT space. You have to have then a long term time span, and then probably get ready for at least a 1 year or 1.5 year of a pause, which could happen into the Nifty IT index, and these index could go through a bit of a grind. So this is very interesting observation, that the Nifty IT index is now nearing that high probability zone of a pause, and then post the consolidation or post this pause is where we believe a trend continuation could be possible. So I hope you guys like the video. Again, very interesting observation, something different, which is not typically seen and observed on the IT index. But I thought probably this could enhance and give you an advantage on how to approach the Nifty IT index. So I hope you guys liked it. Thank you so much, guys, for attending this YouTube video, and don't forget to like and leave your comment on the same. and let me know what are the kind of stocks and strategies which you would want to follow for the Nifty IT Index overall as well. Thank you so much, guys, once again.